What is up, Chris? How are you doing? Let me lower the mic audio a little bit. Like this, maybe? Yeah. Pretty good, I think. We'll lower that, and then we go into the I am preparing a little bit. What up, G? Welcome and bye-bye. Hope you'll have a nice dinner. You're lurking, yeah, got it. This, I'm going to try and record a YouTube video, like a one-take YouTube video, but on stream. We will see how that goes. It's going to be an interesting experiment. You wanted to stream early today, but you woke up late and I was already streaming on Discord. Well, you shouldn't really mind if the captain is streaming or if I'm streaming. If you would like to stream, then you should stream. That's what I think. So we have this open, good. Then we can remove the script, and I need to set up the Discord as well. You should do what you think is what you want to do. Like, if I'm not busy with something else, then I will tune into the stream. If I'm busy, then I just can't. That's pretty much it. That's how streaming is. If the captain didn't stream when I streamed on weekends, then he wouldn't stream weekends because he would get stuck watching me, and same for me. Even though you want to catch the stream, you might as well watch the VOD and not have the FOMO. Let's see, this is the Unity scene recording. That is without me, but you can hear my microphone. You cannot hear the browser now, no? No, you can't. Cool. Let's actually change that. Let's add the browser here, the browser source. No, it's scene source with the browser. Is that how I've done it? Scene, audio. Now you should be able to hear the music. Let me also set I could do this on this monitor, doesn't really matter. So what I want to set up now, I shouldn't open settings. Oh dang, I can't change. I can't change streaming settings when I'm streaming. Because I wanted the VOD to, not the VOD, the audio track for Twitch to capture my my browser. Browser is on track 1. All of these are on track 1, so that's bad. Basically, recording would only capture track 2, but I can't do that right now because I'm streaming, which is kind of weird. Why can I not change recording settings when I'm streaming? I'm not recording. Well, I guess I'll have to do it without audio. Or without music, I guess. I can have music. If I do this, you can't hear it, right? So I could hear it. Oh well. Then I do think I would like to have my studio mode camera. Just my webcam, it is. Dang, I disappeared. I didn't mean to disappear. Or maybe I wasn't. Oh, I wasn't there before. Let's do this. You can see me while I do things. No, that's wrong. I'm good at this stuff. To studio mode, and if I go down to the Unity scene recording, I'm not here. So let's add a video capture device. With the webcam, I'm not going to make it visible because it's really big. That would be kind of the size I am today. And we'll do the same here. We add a video capture device, which is the webcam, and nope. Not seeing the source until I've put it over there. Good. Sizes are way different, I think. Can we properties? That's me. Can I see the size of them? In any transform, edit transform. Let's do 500 to make it easy. Transform. Now we need the width as well. Edit transform to 86. 86, right? 86. That's perfect. Good. And if I switch to that scene, you can still see me, and if I switch to rider, it works. This feels weird to do in live, but let's go. Let me just open my notes. All right. Let's do a single recording, because why not? All right, start recording. No. Wait, I can't record.
Safety systems on level R. All levels can be accessed by the elevator.
Do I have shadow play running? No, I shouldn't. Just... So it's saying that I can't I can't record because too many concurrent sessions. So yes, I'll just switch up. I can't change the encoder either. Oh, that's because I'm streaming with that encoder. Oh, this was terrible. Now, can I open another instance of OBS? I can. Cool. That way we can, let's record audio track 2 only.
Around me is a burgeoning empire of steel.
So
From my throne room, lines of power careen to the skies of Earth. My winds will become lightning bolts that devastate the lands.
this is not going too well. Okay, so I open up another Discord instance, and for the output we need to check with browser. We got mic on 1 and 2, so 2 is open. It's only the microphone, cool. But my scenes need the, we have the webcam. Oh, they can't be. Or are they just big? Should be, what is it, 286? Or can it just not be shown because, yeah, probably not reach it. You know what? I'm not going to record. So let's screw that idea. So I didn't set it up properly to start with. So let's scrap that ID and start working on FMOD. Cool. This and put it in the right place. Put it in the right place. We close the other things. Love having technical issues. Here we go. Close the recorder and let's implement FMOD. Let's go through the ticker at the bottom. Just open that on stream in 1 second. Alright, last time we made generic stuff for this line, but we realized this is not going to work. It's not good enough. So I'm also waiting with the feedback. So this stream is going to be FMOD. 1A, implement, can I just do A? Implement FMOD with current, or convert audio manager to FMOD. That's kind of what I want to do today. Not sure what we're doing after that. Maybe, yeah, let's do 2. Look into coalition. Again. So today I already installed FMOD. So we have it in plugins. We have FMOD. We have the settings, we have stuff, and our main camera has the FMOD Studio Listener. And I think that is pretty much all. Now we need to go into states like the I think I put it on the, was it the big slime? I put lowest attack. Yes, here we have the attack FMOD audio. So we have two now just for testing. So we have footsteps that I can play. And yeah, let's see if we can fix all the build errors I have, or runtime errors. Because right here we can see we have a lot of errors in our audio manager. And it's because this is not how we're going to play music in the main menu music. We kind of sing. Can't play music now. Are these the only sources that are complaining? No. We're gonna need to remove the audio sources, and we need the grab the systems prefab, because that's where all the fun stuff is. We have the audio manager. Here we have all the sound effects. They're all missing because I removed them. Music manager. I also want to go into audio, but I need to that. For the slime audio collection as well, and the audio source and the audio sources, because with FMOD we only need one index. I don't know. Let's look into this. Game components. What up, Captain Coder? How are you doing? Welcome, welcome. I was going to record a video, but since I started stream with the NVIDIA encoder, and my recording is also set to NVIDIA encoder, I couldn't. So I'm not recording. You change the position for animation by attaching an object to an animation object. Third-person top-down game. No listeners exist at start. They will be created. Okay. Video event. Did I add an emitter somewhere? Yo, I did. My audio sources. Player audio, right? The player has its own. That just plays it at the position. Select the event and you just play it. Creating new emitters, you can drag them. That browser into scene with a new object. Okay. Place it on existing game object. Select the event. Event to stop. Send message. No. We're not doing that. one-shot events. Alt play from the script. Advanced options, preload sample data. This would probably be good for all these sound effects pretty much. So fade out, trigger once. Studio bank loader, what is this? Before you can play an FMOD studio event, you must load the bank that contains it. Done that. New bank loader, placing game object, controller loading. That's not for now. And we can set parameters quite easily. Cool. We need to trigger them. Global trigger conditions. Oh, we can have automatic triggers. That's cool. Did I? Let me just. Okay. A lot of collision enter, yeah. Game components. Timeline. No, we're not using the timeline. Not right now at least. Maybe for cutscenes in event browser. Right, I feel like all we have to do is just play it. We have a listener, which is. Now my question is, can a listener like the main camera and the FMOD studio listener listen to more than one object at the same time? To the listeners. If we listeners, we add the listener, which is to the listener to I am confused. So we let's just try it with slime audio. But first we need to remove all the sources and volume change stuff. Check where we are getting errors. It wasn't the music manager right here. All sources should be removed. Now we're basically playing the same. We're doing everything, we're just not setting the audio clips on the sources. Is my mic super low now? It looked like it was kind of low in OBS. So I upped it a little bit. Let's play again now. Now, I do not know why the background has disappeared. Play the clip, or is comment that out, then I can do this in a few more places. Well, no errors. Cool. We can hear that it's playing something. Very, very low, but it's there. Cool. So with this, I'm going to test to play more than one audio at the same time and see how it behaves. Studio listener, we need to go into this big slime enemy close range. Close attack state is the one I want. Recording succeeded? No. I didn't manage to get OBS to record when I'm streaming at the same time. Because both my streaming and recording are set to NVIDIA encoder. And I wanted to get the the webcam. So if I tried opening another OBS instance to record, it couldn't get my webcam since OBS is using my webcam. Like the first instance, so no. Because I wanted to record it in good quality and not just take a Twitch VOD. So I'm gonna do it after stream. Right. So I'm going to try and play more audios. This might sound... Can we do play? Or is it just start? Start. Let's try this. So now we're going to play an audio every frame. Let's see how it handles it. Might sound terrible, and I'm actually expecting that. Huh. I copy this component and paste it. Okay, so I need more listeners for it to work. I'm just going to add a audio listener down here. That's not what it's called. They are called FMOD Studio Listener. This one is my main camera. No, it's just main camera. Cool. So now we have 5 audio listeners. Jumps to me and then I'm not sure if it's working. Let's open LDTK. And I'm going to add more of the big slimes. Oops. Isn't that how you do it? Or you can just do this, I guess. I want to have the patrol point, can't you? That's how you do it. Now music is a little bit weird. Okay, so each. You had an interesting realization yesterday when looking at pixel art of plants. And what was that realization? Okay. What is an generation object? That was to have a position of it, right? Position is by touching an object. Okay. That's all it was. But my question is, how do I set the if I want to I want to set the audio level for the events, like how would I do that? Help. But with the abstract nature of many ways to create trees and bushes, that color plays a big part in seeing something as a plant. So making plants with unorthodox coloring is much harder and need much clearer forms. Yeah, that is true, yeah. Did I not save it in here? No, I didn't. I also need to figure out what I want to do for doors in the game. Because now doors are two objects that open in different directions, but what should I do with them? And how do I set the volume of FMOD? Okay, so you can get a bus. What is a bus? Help me learn how to mod. We have a bank. What is a bus? Is the actually is the banks the bus, because they have a in this Unity thing they are get bus master. I don't know what slider bus. We learned it so far, mostly with QA. I've been trying to improve the quality of my game audio using FMOD integration, and I have settings manually controlled to video settings and a section dedicated to configuring audio. Yeah, addition, your playlist controlling the music on the title screen in multi-instrument event around 41 minutes long, containing 10 songs for a main menu. That's quite a lot of songs. Set to loop when the playlist is done, sequential order. However, I really want to be able to skip the currently playing song and have the ability to go to the previous song when applicable. The problem with all this, currently the audio slider doesn't really do anything. A lot more visual eye candy than useful user interface element. This is an undesired behavior. The audio slider should be controlled in volume. Okay. We have a slider bus somewhere. No. What up, Robin? Where are you, Rob? Thank you very much for the follow. Greatly appreciated. How are you doing? So how does FMOD work. What is a bus? FMOD and Unity. I mean, this video seems like to be the thing we need. Scott game sound. That seems to be a thing. So that is set up. We have music, we have sound effects, the mixer. Oh, you need to set up the buses in Mod Studio. Let's see the code. Audio settings, music volume, level. Yeah. Let me see the code. We can just get the bus. If we do it in let me open Studio and see how we do this. We open the project, then let's grab the footsteps. See what he did. Grab the audio. Went into was it window mixer. We have a master bus and we have reverb, footstep, nature. Can I add a new group? Yeah, I can. So I could add a sound effects here. That's what he has done. Yeah, groups. Okay, so I could these two in here. Can I play the audio in here? Or can I just increase the volume a little bit? That's quite a lot. But let's do that. Let's save it. Do I window event editor? Just grab these two and then just do build all platforms, probably. So if we go into this part, we should have a group called SFX, meaning that in our audio manager, let's go into our audio manager. Let's do what they've done, which was to no, I didn't. Runtime manager get bus. Unity runtime manager get bus. And how did they just bus colon slash? Is that what I call it? SFX, yeah. And we saved it as just a bus. But Unity, Studio, no. Mod Studio bus. Then we'll make a master bus as well. Just be master then, like that, yes. Bus and that would be the master bus. So with this, Music set volume. What is music? Oh, that's just the bus, and you can set the volume. So I assume I could just hook this up with my editor or my the in-game stuff, and just do like SFX buzz set volume, which is between 0 and 1, I assume. Cool. So now if we FMOD banks are up to date, cool. So how would this... Robin is saying, I am preparing for an interview for the position of Unity Dev intern. These days I'm studying data structure and algorithms on Lead Code, but I'm feeling a bit tired. The demo is not done yet. Should I learn on Unity Learn first and then make my own demo, or watch another video tutorial on how to make a game on YouTube to make a game? I think... so when is your interview? It's my first question. I think there is one important thing you need to learn before going into games, and that is how vectors are working. So if you know about vectors, you don't really need to know about algorithms or data structures that much. How much programming experience do you have? Like, just what have you done programming wise? And yeah. I mean, you aren't expected to do that much as an intern. But if you just answer those questions, I can guide you further with what to do. So let's see now if the audio is louder for the footsteps. Reference is null audio send data event. Start audio data. It's not dying. So why is it null? What is attack audio? Not found as effects. Okay. That is the issue we're having. We're not finding the buzz. Why are we not? We need to refresh banks. Edit settings. Utilization, one in our bank import. Editor, do we have any? No. I probably need to know what it's saying. Not finding the master music, we're not finding the... Let's see what we have in our audio manager. The master slash Music SFX bus colon. What was his called? Was it Master Bus or was it just Master? Oh, just Master. So that means if can I rename this? I can't. New group? No. And make a new group outside of it? No, everything's under Master Bus. Okay. Why is his Master and mine is Master Bus? Let's see if that changes anything. I turned on error pause, so if it's an error at the start, we'll just pause, which it did. Could not find bus master bus SFX. Will get bus? Can I? View create no. With the banks, that's the master. Can I? My question is, how do I get the bus that we have created? We have this as a fix. Do I have any way of? If we do FMOD Unity runtime manager bus, there's only get bus. You can't see all the buses you have. Backstop prefix. Let's see if we can get any. Information from this. What else do we have? Kind of want to. Will it be a problem when you doing it in Awake? If we check the video, where is he? He's coding stuff. Awake. No idea about this. Assign to VCA. What is a VCA or mixer view? Mixer view. Cool. It's a VCA. No idea. Alright, so this is how we get the stuff. Selected buses. You're from Vietnam. You couldn't hear what it said clearly, but you understood what you meant. Just that there will always be a VS algo test and a demo. You mean I just need to do a demo to show employers what skill I have? And I should do it myself, right? When it comes to... I am not sure how it is done in Vietnam, but in Sweden, where I am from, you would usually have a portfolio, like a website or similar, where you're showing what you have done and created in Unity, meaning a demo. So I would suggest you look at Unity Learn, the website, Unity's own learning website, which this one. And go through if you have coding experience, go through the junior programmer. If you have never used Unity before, then go through the Unity Essentials and just keep doing this. And when you feel like you have a little bit of experience, where you could create something yourself, try and do that. Even if it's just Pong, like a ball bouncing, anything you can create by yourself is good. But I really do like Unity's learning. It is really good. I hope that helps you a little bit. But if you know that there will be a algorithm test, then you probably have to study that as well. But I would suggest doing your own. When you know how to program a little, start making your own small game. Do not try and make an MMORPG, just go with the smallest game you can think of. Or maybe not even a game, just showing off what you can do. MMORPG. Massively multiplayer online role-playing game. Like World of Warcraft. Do not try and make anything big to start with. Just try and make Pong. If you can. If you cannot make Pong, then go and do some tutorials. And try and learn some stuff through tutorials, and then you go back and try to make this yourself. That is the start, I would say. I am a little bit confused about the buzzes. FMOD, buzz. Can I get the information runtime utils? Do we have any bus? No. Get bus Unity. See if I can. To get the master. Okay, the master bus is always. Oh, is it? Okay, so we just need the bus. Was it? Colon slash. Yeah, it's colon slash. Cool. It would be this and this. Oh, we're still in play mode. So let's start playing and see if we can figure something out. Will it work? It did.
You must be Danny. I'm Dr. Rubens. I see you already met Crush. You'll be
That is louder. Can I?
to her? Yes. You mean
If we go in here now and I up this.
you sit on the cradle of the miracle cure. Open your mind and let me explain.
No, okay. So let me see how I can link this. Because you can link this. Where did I find that? Not in here? No? No? Editor? Right here. Still see me, right? Yeah. Okay, so I want to see how we can do the live update. So let's do some more FMOD live update Unity. The asset, preparing a game for connection. It's there. How do I do? In file menu. Let's go to the scene. Connect the game. Should be localhost. Did we connect? Live update on. Cool. That is really cool. So let's make this a little bit smaller. Can I? If I just drag this down now in FMOD, we stop hearing the audio. Well, it's really quiet. I'm almost dead. Let me give full health. Cool. I think this is really cool. We can have live updates on, and we can do things like this. Cool. Then I kind of know how it works. Okay, so I think I think all of what I need to do now is to just change my audio manager. Yep, that is what I need to do. So when we get back, 1A, let's set this to 1B, and let's say learn about FMOD in the Unity. But I've been going for over an hour now, so I'm going to take a small break. And I will be back in a few minutes. I'm going to make a cup of tea. I'll be back in 5. We are back. What up, Kage? How are you doing? Welcome, welcome. All the nodders. How did the Jedi game go? Did you ever beat the monster? Are you still fighting? Beat the game? Cool. Well done. Ending was really cool. Dang, I missed it. Maybe one day when I have more than 5 minutes of free time per day, I will play it. Maybe. So we have learned a bit of FMOD in Unity. Really cool stuff. The engine is kind of bad. Look at this. We have big slimes, we have small slimes, we have torches. Have you seen the torches yet? Big slime is split to small slimes. You haven't seen the torches? So we can throw the box starts burning, and you can light torches. Or right now you can just jump on where the torches are if it's still burning. But it stops burning after a while, which we can see now, so now it doesn't do anything. Just light it, and then when you light all torches, we open the door. Cool stuff, huh? You can also glitch. Really cool, look. I just found this. Neat. Yeah. And all the stuff is doable from my setup in Level Designer Toolkit. So I just link this door to all the torches. And that is all. So if I wanted to... that's the button. Grab this, I add a few more. It's a bit tedious. You can't hold anything to keep selecting references, can you? Anyways, yeah, now I selected all the torches. Go back into Unity, just do a little refresh, and we play. Now we have a lot of torches, and make sure it works. We just try and light that, and then we'll light these two, so we know those the previous ones. But now we have to light all of them. And it opens. And then we have box only gates, and we also have player only gates. But right now you can just walk through them if you have the box. That is something I want to change, so the box falls down if it touches them. But those are the torches. And I've now learned how to save that. I've learned how FMOD works with Unity, so now I'm going to convert the audio manager to FMOD. There's going to be a little bit of work. What it is basically starting from scratch with my system. Let's do this. Let's open the system's prefab. In here we are going to make a new one, which will be, let's do this. Let's remove audio manager and music manager. Remove these two. Music manager too. And then we are going to create a new one. Let's go to here. We have audio manager. I'm going to change the name of the audio manager. Audio manager. We have it. Called audio manager. Perfect. And I'm going to create a new one. Then change here. Refresh. And let's make audio manager. Cool. And this one will just a big slime attack, no big close attack. We just do attack audio start, which is a event instance. So the only thing I would need from here are the buses like this and copy that into the new audio manager. This is all I need. And then we need the it should be in there. Cool. Then we add a public void music volume change. Volume, and then we need another bus, which is the music bus. We'll grab the music one as well, but we don't have that right now, but doesn't really matter. Music bus. And here we just do music bus, set volume to volume. Let's duplicate this twice. And specs volume changed. Here we do master bus and master volume. Cool. I've made an audio manager. What productivity system do you use for tracking personal projects? Like Todoist, Trello? I have used Trello, but I also use, I'm not doing that anymore. I currently using Todoist. Here we have a few of my games. Yeah. But I'm not using that too much right now. I am actually not keeping track of anything right now. I am not a good developer when it comes to keeping track of stuff right now. I should probably add it somewhere, like a Trello or in my Todoist, at least. So we have these, and they just need to be bound. Okay, so I'm going to remove my old audio manager and my music manager. There will be a lot of code I need to change, but let's do it. And for this, I kind of want to make this a singleton of audio manager. The reason is I want to reach these. That is all. Audio event on refresh audio. Cool. We don't need this one. Remove that. Slime audio collection we can remove as well. Slime audio. To remove that, we remove the data. So we're going to have like 100 places where we need to do things. So the audio helper will also not be used, but I'm going to save this because I might make a small blog post about it. The audio event is in audio data. Yeah, I'm going to comment this out as well because I might follow it. Remove the audio data. What I want to add instead is the reference. Would be one of those FMOD also text state FMOD reference. ground pound start and ground pound end. Slime hit audio. Then it just start, right? Or was it play? Oh, right, you need to do one other thing. I need to create an instance. That is annoying. But let's do it. Do we have an enter here? Are these using enter? Yeah, they are. So here I would it's not one using post initialize. Or is this only if I need to save the audio? That's only if I need to save the audio. These are for one shots. Right? I need to look into FMOD play audio. Sound from FMOD. We have player state. That will allow us to use management event over its lifetime, including starting, stopping, changing the parameter. To event one shot. But how are they used? They one shot. Okay. If I want to save them, I need to do a create instance and save it in a player state and then start it. But if we just want to do a one shot, I'll probably never just want to do a one shot. Well, I will, but now we can stream. You send it. Weird. How would it know for it? Will this make it right? Private string, public string, test, and let's make it a FMOD. What was it? MoonVania event reference. Oh, and okay, I get it. I get it. We do this. I was just a little bit old code. See, where did I put it? Or put it? Where did I? Damage event. We do this when we want to play it. It would be this. We call the runtime manager play one shot. Audio, what did I call it? Audio state reference. And we do data and position. What's it called? Like audio. I need to save the state. We shouldn't do it there. We should do it here. Attack audio. Oh, need to do on refresh audio. That's old. Position. It's going to be a lot. Of things to change. Big slime. This will be an reference. Time manager, play one shot. Yo. I don't need to send the... Probably need to send a position. Forward, these would be unref. Runtime manager, take one shot, the attack audio, and this will be data transform position. And it should be attack audio, not attack duration. Audio. And here we do the attack hit audio. We don't need to refresh. I'm going to go into the box base state and remove the refresh. And preference. Start to throw audio. Preference. Audio. So many things to change. So many things. This should probably not be a one shot, but I'm going to play it as a one shot right now. Start audio. How many things do we have left? One? I don't believe it. Here we go. Old audio manager. Slider, so this would then go to audio manager and stands the volume changed. Oh, we don't have the volume set. Don't have the volume set there. Should I? Let's add a variable that's called probably what I have for volume. Let's fix volume. Let's make it a property so we can get it, and we'll have a music volume and a master volume. Volume. This is a slider. On enable, we'll listen. Oh, we'll listen to volume changed. This one, okay. Manager instance. Let's remove that for now. What's this? This is our save and load manager. To do. Can I do a moon to do? Would it still be what to do? Fix. Yeah, that's not how we play music anymore. Options menu controller. Would just be the audio manager, and we audio manager instance, and this would be the music volume. This would be the sound effects volume, SFX. Should rename this one to SFX with lowercase. That is the Unity standard. Nothing more in there. Manager instance, music volume. Let's comment those out for now. We are not refreshing the audio anymore. Not in here either. Maybe we might be getting close to our cleanup. Or are we having a lot of other errors as well now? Cool. Now we've cleaned up, let's start playing and see what we can do. If it's... Did I add the audio manager on here? No, I didn't. Audio manager. Did I remove the old audio manager? I did. Music manager. I removed that as well. Nice. Should be saved. We have the audio manager and the music manager is gone. Nice. Right. File. All good. Let's play and see if if anything is crashing when I play. Let's see if this one. No audio. Why is that? What did I ruin with things I did? Let's go to the slime close attack state. We should play the one shot. Oh, maybe slime close attack. Yeah, we don't have a reference to any sound here. But that is good to know that we can just put the if we don't have a sound set, it's not going to give us an error. It's just going to keep playing. Perfect. Let's see what Robin is saying. Previously used practice in 2 positions: data engineer intern and fresher Python developer. First place you quit because at the time you didn't like writing SQL queries and doing Power BI day by day. Second place was because you were often late and partly because you weren't fluent in JavaScript to write widgets. Just thought I was doing the back end of Odo. For a long time, I tried to find something I wanted to do, passionate about it. Spend my time just doing, and it's making. Making games is very fun. I work a normal 8-hour job, and then I develop my game in the evening and during weekends. I do. There's a spike up there. I'm just having so much fun streaming it and doing it. And thanks for sharing your story. It's always interesting to hear where people are coming from. Cute dog. I'm done with fixing my. Let's go to the scene. Converting the audio manager. So we have a kind of functioning audio manager now. All it's doing is setting the volume per bus. Yeah. So now I need to figure out what I'm going to do about collision. I probably need to rewrite my collision again. Because if we kill these and light all the torches, open the door. We can, if I to room 11. Cool. There's a lot of bugs currently with my system. Like this bug. And I do not really understand it. I'm not sure how I want to do the collision. Unity. So the one-way platforms and everything is pretty easy. I don't really want to use Unity physics, which is the problem. Or should we go the path where we try to use rigid body collision? Well, we could always try, I guess. But if I use, then I would have to put that on. I mean, there are things I really like about my system right now, how this kind of pushes you. I would really just want to figure out how to solve the clipping issues I'm having. And I think the clipping issues have something to do with my ceiling collision. Well, it does. But I'm not sure how to solve the ceiling collision. That is the problem I'm having. And how to do it in a good way. Let's go to So the current way I'm checking ceiling collision. What I was thinking, okay, let's try and explain my thinking. Here we have paint. Paint is good. So currently, this is the player, right? Let's make it orange. Orange is the player. So currently this is the player. My collisions I'm doing right now are basically from the center of the object and down. So I'm moving the green one down until this point. And I'm moving the blue one from here up to this point. And then I'm doing a running out of colors. This dark red one from like here to here, and the same on the other side. I'm just using the same color. And this is a problem because I'm checking a big distance. So what I'm thinking is if we make a player, I'm going to make it bigger now so it's easier to see. If we make a player that has a normal hitbox like this, that is just like a rigid body. And then we do, not box cast, but if we do normal ray casts, a set amount of ray casts, like this, not that far, like this distance. That's way too many. Or maybe not, we'll see. But I'll do raycast like this, to the edge. So that is what I'm thinking about doing. Because this would mean that we could never... Basically this. This would most likely guarantee that we can never clip through with the body collider. Paint art indeed. A real tool of winners. But I'm thinking this might be a good way of doing it. Does that make sense? Because the physics object would just be there. But then we couldn't move the position. We can't move the transform. Then we would have to use the rigid body. I guess I could use all my systems right now. I would just have to switch out how I move the player. So all the players. Right, I need to rework the player. So the box controller, box attack state controller. With this one, I could probably do it with the player as well. Let's go to the player. Player is big. Box transforms. There we go. We have the model right here. So I would put a rigid body. We have a rigid body here. Kinematic. Yeah. So all I would do is go to finalize movement. And here we have the transform to move, but I don't want the transform to move. I want the rigid body to move. body to move. If rigid body to move is not null, we move position would be position. Else, so we don't break any other code. I would go into the component and finalize movement. I would grab that one. So what happens now? Nothing changes. Or did it? Well, the thing that changes is lag. Because we are doing this in execute, and execute is update, and we're moving the rigid body in update, which we shouldn't. So let's go to where we are inheriting from, the execute. And then just to test this, I'm going to do execute fixed. Right, void. Right, execute fixed. And I'm going to copy this code line, do this. Let's comment that out and move these in here as a quick fix. Still in play mode. Then we need to go to the entity main. We have update. Let's add a fixed update. Public void fixed update, and here we'll just do for each. Let's copy this actually. Execute fixed. That's all. So how is the tile building going, Chris? Are you doing well? Is it going well? Are you doing anything? I'm just wondering. Now we're lagging. It can be. Now I want to see what happens if I remove the collision check. Oh. Room 11, that didn't work. I was hoping I would collide with the, the world, but we probably need to change the physics settings for that, because the player object is player and the ground is ground. So player and ground should be colliding. Collider? Body collider. Oh, I don't have a... Yeah, this one should be player collider, but it's a trigger. If I duplicate the body collider and set it to... Let's see, can I... Yeah, it's good. Set this to layer. If I do the same again, where I disable the finalize movement, the collision check. Nope. Why am I not colliding with the ground? That's my question. Does this ground not have integrated ground? Collision, it should be ground. What is static? Composite. Could it be that we need another remove the trigger on this one? Let's remove this. I just want to see if I can get it to fall. Well, to fall I can, but to collide. It's not colliding with the ground. Or maybe it is, but my collision is overriding it. Or my movement is probably overriding it. What if I do a single box cast? Now, trying something new. If I do a single box cast from where I was in the direction of the movement, how would that work? The problem though is when we have more than one collision. I think that's what is pushing me through the walls. It's not actually check collision. I think the problem is that I'm having more than one collision. So when I do the calculate vertical collision, I have the collision up. And I also have the collision, like if I collide with more than one thing, we only take one into account. The problem with all my checks are I'm using previous collision. I think. Yeah. To get the distance. So the check start position is the previous position. So even if we are moved, it's going to be a problem. Because we're still going from the previous position. So see, previous position, check start position is player position. Yeah, there are some issues with this. Or quite a few issues with this. Well, I might have to rethink the collision. But I've been going for 2 hours, so I'm going to take a break and think about how to do the collision. Because it's rough. So I'll be back in like 5 minutes. I need to rework the collision. How do I rework the collision? I don't know. So I have an idea of if we do like this, we save the scene, we create a new scene. Let's make a basic 2D one. I'm going to drag in the whole LDTK scene. This. We have all of this. Should load perfectly fine. Yeah, collision. Let's say this as a scene. Collision scene. So my idea is that I'm going to create a new object right here. Let's actually create a cube. Let's make it. Let's actually do a layer and then we do a cube underneath. If model. Go. Cool. This will be our player. It's going to be 1.5. Cool. The player, if we do a rigid body, and then we have a box collider, 2D, of course. It will be kinematic because we are moving it. It's going to be simulated. It's going to be a type of layer player. That one is as well. Do I even need this one? No, probably not. If I play this now, we're not going to see anything because the main camera is way off. What is the... Oh, they need a lot of things. A lot of errors. New idea. Let's do this. Let's close this project. Let's create a new project. This is not the folder. Unity projects. MoonVania. Assets. LDTK. Test. Project. Let's create a tile set. Perfect. Layer for the integrate. That's not where I press. It's this. Then we edit the rules. Group, and we use the assistant. That is pretty much all the rules. Pick an integrate value 1. Oh, that is enough. Cool. So let's just make an area to stand on, and we are going to make different heights. Being able to hit your head. Just have walls like this. And a single tile we can go through. Cool. So instead of having this one in, let's bring in the test project. Put the player over here, and also let's put the main camera underneath the player so we can let it just so we follow the player. Now if we start, hopefully it's going to stand on the ground, but it's not going to do. That is because the ground does not have a layer set. Integrate does not have... doesn't even have a collision. and I just do this. Then we have the tile map collider and a composite collider. Cool. It's 2 a.m. your time zone. You're going to sleep. See you later. Alright, Robin. Thank you very much for hanging out and for watching. Good luck with your endeavors to learn more about Unity and coding in general. I'm looking forward to seeing what you can achieve. And yeah, have a wonderful night. There we go. Okay. Here we have the player. The player is not very kinematic. Right. If we are kinematic, we are not moving with it. That didn't set the I set the layer to ground here. They should be polygon colliders though. Polygon. Ground. The player is right. So let's write a script for the player. Do I have a lot of no? Good. Okay, this will be player collision. New player collision. On collision, enter 2D. Can we do on collision? It needs to rebuild. Enter 2D. Okay, just stay. Then we also need a reference to the rigid body. Just going to grab it here. What up, Josarn? The clap hat didn't work. Let me refresh the thingy. No hat. That hat, indeed. Alerts. Their properties. Refresh the cache. And then I will do this. No? What is going on? There it goes. That works? Cool. Now we do a clap hat. Perfect. So, how are you doing? Welcome, welcome. How's it going? It's going well. I did a lot of things today that I didn't think would be that fast. I was also going to record a YouTube video on stream for events in scriptable objects, but my recording didn't go through because I didn't set up OBS correctly, so I couldn't record at the same time as I'm streaming, because recording also goes through the NVIDIA encoder, and the NVIDIA encoder can only run one at the same time. Yeah, apparently. So whenever I press start recording, I get this. Too many concurrent sessions, and I'm like, I only have one, as far as I know, and that is OBS. And since I can't change any recording settings or output settings when I'm streaming, so if I go into recording, everything is grayed out, apart from the encoder settings. But these I can't change the encoder. And another thing I could do would be to open a second instance of OBS to record. and that works. However, that makes it not possible to capture the camera on that recording because the camera is captured by the other OBS instance, the first one. So it's just a mess. So I'm going to record it after this or tomorrow, because I've tried recording videos in so many ways and it's just not going well. So my next thing is to just do a code along pretty much, where I will do the thing I want to do and then just post the video, even if there's mistakes in it, or I might not be super efficient with my words, but that would be the easiest way. Position. So what I'm doing right now is to collision 2D. Not get the contacts, I guess. What up, El Ghetto? Thank you very much for the follow. Thank you. How are you doing today? So I'm looking into how I can update my collision code again, because I have some collision bugs. Pretty good, thank you. Good to hear. Glad to have you in the stream. So we can get contacts. You just get the contact. Yeah, if you have a kinematic rigid body, how would you use it? Like a kinematic rigid body is going to get collision. So if we do, let's just do a fixed update. I haven't done this in 10 years. We do let's do a position would be body position. Then we do like position plus equals gravity. How do you do physics? 2D gravity time the delta time. And then we do move position and position. Now, if this should give us a collision, right? When we fall, we should get a. Well, I need to. Make sure we log that we get a collision. My thought is, how do I do this? We didn't get a collision. Okay, why not? Check again. Project settings are the layers. We have the player layer and the ground layer. I remove this box collider and add this one. Also set this to continuous. As long as you have colliders, yeah, we have a tile map collider with a rigid body static and a composite collider set to polygons. So that should be a good collision. And then we have the player with a rigid body kinematic set to the player layer. We have a box collider. It's not big, but it's right there. But it might be because no. So I'm not getting any collision on the new play collision right there. And we should be getting the component and start. So this should be set when we start it. Yes. And it shouldn't matter the Z value. Body static, simulated, yeah. Player, kinematic. Like sometimes I just kinematic rigid body collider. Okay, came out with the collider. You can move kinematic rigid body script by modifying the transform component, but will not respond to collision and force it like non-kinematic rigid body. Should be used for colliders and can be moved or disabled, enabled occasionally. But should otherwise behave like static colliders. An example of this is sliding a door. It should act normally as an immovable physical obstacle, but can be opened when necessary. Like a static collider, a moving kinematic rigid body by friction to other objects, pick up, make contact. Even immobile kinematic rigid body colliders have different behavior from static colliders. For example, if the collider is set to as a trigger, then you can also add a rigid body to it in order to receive trigger events in your script. Rigid body component can switch to an example of this ragdoll. The matrix, yeah, rigid body collider with a rigid body collider, kinematic rigid body with a normal rigid body. Collision detection messages that occur. So the player is a kinematic rigid body, right? And the world is a rigid body collider. It is a rigid body 2D there. It's a rigid body 2D here, and 2D box collider. And this kinematic, even set to continuous. Use full kinematic contacts. I guess you should use the player as a kinematic. It was the checkbox, use full kinematic contacts. Cool. Problem solved. They add these new tiny features in these versions, and I have no idea what they do, but just need to hit the checkbox. So, how do we check if we're grounded? Do we do collision? You sent me the 3D version as well? Yeah, true. Doesn't really matter. They should behave kind of the same when it comes to how they work together. What is the best way to check grounded? I guess you wouldn't do that with this. Why the underscore before your variables? That is all the member variables. It is a normal coding convention in C#. Because an old thing like in C++ would be underscore as a member variable underscore. And just having it as, let's say, RB2D. Let's say I have a method called update RB2D. And then you take in a rigid body 2D, RB2D. And then you name them the same. This is going to be an issue. Or it's not an issue. If you wanted this one, then you would have to use this dot RB2D. And it just doesn't look good. It's just very easy to distinguish. Oops. by having an underscore. And it doesn't get mixed up with the parameters. That is why. So we get the collision. Makes sense. It does, doesn't it? It's one of those things that I am glad I started doing. And I also hate the look of having an M underscore. Just no. I guess for grounded, we would just do a raycast. Grounded. Cool. Grounded. Then we'll do a physics. Raycast. Sitting in C++ right now. All those different semantics. Yeah, there's a lot of small differences. For now, to the position would have a direction, right? Vector 3 down. And this is not correct because we're doing a physics 2D. And then we need to have a distance, which would be the distance of our collider, which we do not have a reference to. Collider 2D. It was I like bounce Y, size Y, and then we need to grab layer mask ground. Cool. That should be saved into a variable. Fit.collider. So if I rewrite my collision code, I kind of want to use the raycast in like the burst ECS1 job system. I would like to use this one. And we can try it. Job system plus. Yeah. Let's see if we have it all in the project. Unity registry. Do we have the burst? Do we have the job system? Job. Is that built in now? It is. We have burst and we have job. Then we can probably do this. Let me keep this documentation up and do results would be a new native array, a cast hit, native array, raycast hit. So this is a single raycast we're doing. But I probably need to do like 3 of them. So let's do 3. Because if we just do a raycast straight down, we might still be grounded because we're not falling if we don't have collision straight down. We need to check like behind us and in front of us as well. Let's do 3 of them. That would work. Commands, new native array as well. Array, raycast command. I guess that's 3 as well. Yeah. Origin is position. I guess we start with direction. Now my ray. Can we even use this for command? We have a raycast 2D command. What is it called? No? Okay, we're not using this. Never mind. We can't do it in 2D. No 2D support now because 2D collision in 2D physics is using box 2D. They are looking into a 2D dots. Apparently. Can you? 2D entities. 2D physics. Collision queries. Wait. Unity 2D physics follows almost identical features. Actually, it's identical, however 2D also provides an overlap queries. Nevertheless, below is an overview which should highlight differences. Packages. Getting started with this. No. The basic game object conversion can support body 2D. Don't want to delve into entities. That is true. I probably don't want to do that. Just wanted to see dots and if there's physics for entities. Because the physics for entities would be the same as burst or job system. I assume. It's not? It is the same way of writing it in 3D though. At least the raycast command you did the same in 3D as you would do in just the job system. Other distance would be let's grab this. The bound. No, not arc2. The collided to the bound size X. And we'll do 3 raycasts. Well, they didn't really have their own physics code back then. I mean, this was early ECS and the entities. We tried writing a game using it. And using raycast would be the same like a raycast command like did in the example. It could be that they have changed a lot because they didn't really have ECS physics back then. It's probably different now. So let's first see if we can do this raycast and get a hit. If we hit something, take it, we're grounded. It's grounded. We could do this. We should return this. Get this grounded. Get this grounded. But yeah, that was 5-6 years ago when I was working on that. If we're not grounded, we add this to position. So this would be the basic. collision. Perfect. Now we are on the ground. Good. But this doesn't help me with what I wanted to work. Or does it? So what I actually wanted was to have where I get the collision points, so I wouldn't have to let's just do a basic horizontal movement. But get key D. Position.x plus equals time the delta time. Perfect. So on collision, stay would be can we grab this collision contact? Memory garbage. Use get contact or get contact. What was the contact point? 2D. So this would be, we get all the contacts, we can loop through all of them. Contacts. But we also have a number here. Collisions. Let's do a 4 collisions. Did I ever do C++? I did. In game dev school, 2009 to 2011. So it's over 10 years ago. We do contacts. For now, I'm just going to do that. Is this? Do you miss it? No, not at all. Not one bit. Like there's nothing. Or well, I guess the thing I miss is that it's easier to do like copies of objects. That is the only functionality I would like to have. So how would I now get this player? Let's grab the player. When I collide with something, that's not what I wanted to do. Do we have the right? When I collide here, I want to move the player from the contact out. So basically just the normal that would work. Let's do that. Let's grab the normal from the collision. And normal input. do you get? Cool. Want the normal? Want all to get the point as well? No, we want to grab the collision stay and not enter, because if I do collision enter, I need to move the object. Okay, now I want to do this. If I go here and I collide, I want to move the object out. And what I want to do is I want to move the object perfectly next to it. So it could still be a collision. If I just do on enter and we don't move it out enough, then we are inside the object and wouldn't get another on collision. I could just keep moving. So, and if we move it out too much, then we would get the jittery effect where it just kind of moves back and forth a lot. So for now, I'm using on collision state to get the behavior I kind of want, and then I see if I can do it with the on collision enter. But I also want to keep doing it if I clip into the wall. Then I might get collision with something else and I want to move. Out for more than one frame. I don't know. On collision stay would also be if you're on an elevator. That would be the same because you're being moved up by the elevator, so you need to do it every frame, pretty much. Unless you can do on enter, and then you need to just keep track of all the collisions you have in another list. And then you remove them on a collision exit. That you could do as well. So the normal would be... Now, here's a problem. Or am I good? I'm not going to have slopes, so never mind. So we could just do let's do RB2D position would be just at the collision, or well, yeah, for now, the position. I mean, position. Contact normal would be RB2D position plus the normal multiplied by the collider bounds size. Right, something like this. Perfect. We are not moving at all. Because we are setting the position every frame, so is on collision stay happening after Unity method timing? Unity method order of execution for event functions. Here we have it. We have fixed update, and then we have on collision. Okay. So this would obviously not work. Let me think for a second. Because now we're just setting, we're doing this, doesn't matter, we're colliding and we're moving the player to this position. Always. If you collide with multiple things later at the same time, no. That is why I wanted to do this, get all the contacts and multiply it by the bound size. Because if the normal is why is the box collider not on the player? What happened to it? Is the model moved? Oh, it has. The thing I wanted to do would be if you collide with multiple things, like if you collide here, and then you would get this contact, you would move the player, let's say, here instead. If you get all the contacts, then you would grab this one, you collide, you put it at the bounds size, two colliders from the same direction. Why would that be a problem? Oh, it would be a problem. I would need to take the one that's closest to true. Do this. That's going to be perfect. Now, am I even doing these? Is it... Am I changing the position? I'm just trying to figure out how I want to do with the collision in general. Maybe I'll just use the normal ray cost. Now, what I'm thinking here, we're using move position. So why is this not applied before we are getting here? Or before we're getting here? Or is this because I'm doing it in fixed update? Probably. I should do inputs in update. Movement direction. A move position is resolved. You mean that we can't move it because we're... No. Let's do this at 0. This should be -10. Perfect. And then we'll do position plus equals movement direction. Well, I'm moving. Rough goose chasing, how are you doing? Because it moves with interpolation settings, so I think you're sort of setting a target position to move to. Oh, is that? I thought move position would be the... Isn't move position like absolute? Yeah, it moves the rigid body between two positions. How are you doing, Goose? Are you having a good day? So how are rigid bodies working? Like the examples, all good? How about you? I'm doing great. I'm just playing around with rigid bodies again. I'm thinking about collision. Was a rigid body complies with interpolation settings? So if I... Important to understand that the actual position change will only occur during the next physics update. Therefore, calling this method repeatedly without waiting for the next physics update will result in the last call being used. For this reason, it's recommended call during the fixed update call. I'm using it in the fixed update callback. In update, I'm setting a move direction depending on... Oh, it's going both directions. That's why. Now we're moving. Can't modify the transform position manually. Yeah, I'm not. That's what I'm trying to avoid. I'm just using the rigid body move position. So I'm trying to avoid using transform at all. So if we do this and then else, we would set the movement direction 0. Or movement direction X would be 0. And then if we enable this, I want to see that is working now. We can move. Not really smooth, but we can move. It's working perfectly. Right? Can you feel it? Are you not happy with your previous character solution? No, there is... I just wanted to look into this and see if there's anything I could use with the physics to update it. I need to... I'll save that. I just wanted to play around. But the current issue, I'll show you. My ceiling collision is not perfect. And it's causing really weird behavior, so I have so many torches to light now. Alright. Thank you for the clap at Elgetto. So here is one issue with the current collision. If I put the box here and I collide with it, we are gone. And there are a few other instances where you collide with the head. You get moved a little bit. Like, I like how most of it is interacting, but there are some things that aren't working well. If we take the box there, for example, let's see if I can do it. The box snaps to the platform even though it has vertical velocity. But I don't really care about that. That's probably an easy fix. The problem I'm having is the clipping of this. Like, and then we have a few other things where you can get moved above it like this. Oh dang. Party! What up, what up? Thank you, Anderson, for the raid. Thank you very much. Welcome, welcome. I am... you're catching me at a perfect time. I'm just sitting here complaining about my my collision system. Thank you very much for the raid. Thank you, Joel, for the... oh, it's moving so fast in my... Thank you, Joel, for the follow. Thank you, It's Speaker, for the follow. How are you doing? And how did the game dev go? I assume you were streaming Paperclay? Yeah, you've seen me on Discord. Yeah, I have one of those new projects there. Game day went really good. Cool. How close are you now on the release? I haven't really... I've seen you upload a few things, but I haven't really followed the progress of it too closely. I love you, to the scroller. Now I'm happy to see this. It's close to 2 years, I'd say, in a healthy pace. Cool, cool. Yeah, this is my game. It's going to be a Metroidvania. That is my goal, at least. We have a lot of functionality right now. Since you have a daytime gig, I do as well. Let's open the proper project. I'm using a program called Level Designer Toolkit. It's amazing for making a side-scroller or a top-down game. So I've added a lot of functionality from it. Let's just refresh it so we can show off a few things. So it's a Metroidvania. You are a normal person. You get transported to a different world. Classic isekai for anime fans. In here you are... This is a temporary main character, so you will be a normal person that can't do much but run around and jump, pretty much. And then you find a box. the box that is following. And that box will help you on your path or help you escape this other world. So the box will be the one doing all the animation and stuff. All the fighting and pretty much everything except pulling levers that you will do yourself. And what can you do? It can just do a normal melee attack. It can ground pound. You can throw it. And you can ground pound from the throw. You can stand on it. You can jump with it. You can... it bounces if you throw it on the wall. You can throw it through a fire to make it burn. And light other torches. And if you light all torches, I open a door. We have pressure plates, as I've called them. If you activate them, they can be activated by the player or the box. We have moving platforms where you get the velocity from them. We can throw this through here. That the box can go through, but the player can't. Activate the moving platform, but only when it's on there. Levers to open stuff. Boxes can't go through red things. We have slimes. We have magic. I can't shoot magic now because it's crashing. We have map implementation, and we have a lot of things. So yeah, using the box is opening up a lot of doors. Oh, I forgot about the coolest mechanic in the game, the surfing. You can put it underneath you and surf. So you could travel like vast distances by surfing on it. I call it surf. It's kind of just hovering or gliding, maybe. I'm calling it surfing. It was a bit laggy because I played around with finalize movement of this, and let's remove this if check. And it should be a bit smoother. And I've also set it up so when you go in here into LDTK, where I have my world, I have all my things. I could, for example, add a spawn on trigger, as I'm calling it, which let's hook it up to all the torches when they are lit, and then we can add a enemy. Let's grab like 3 slime enemies, and I can just trigger them on different interactions. We have levers, we have everything you can do is connected in LDTK. I just refresh in here in the game, and it's automatically set up to work. So now there's error. Oh, yeah. If I kill these just quickly, I'll light these torches now. The slime spawn. So the level design will be super easy to test in the game. It's just all connected and very little things to do in Unity for it to work. And that is really cool. And I'm usually I stream in the evenings until 10 p.m. and it's past 10 p.m. now, and I'm struggling with my collision right now. I'm not really sure how I'm going to solve it. So I'm probably going to end the stream very soon, even though you rated me, but I also have that daytime job. But yeah, we're having issues with the collision. That's why you in the stream need to sleep. So bye bye. Thank you very much for the raid. I really appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to playing your game. I've been watching. I've been seeing posts on Reddit and also on Discord, and I'm excited to see when it's playable. Sleep is important. Love seeing people doing things they love, especially when it's something I can relate to. That is true. That is true. This is my goal with this is to have a vertical slice or a playable demo. In like half a month or yeah, something around that time. Half a month or mid of April, probably going to be end of April, but that's when I want to have my 10 rooms at least, maybe 15 with some puzzles, where we have everything set up like this and we can just yeah. We also have a boss fight that I can show off because bosses are nice. Most of the things that are missing are actually graphics right now. That is pretty much fixing the collision, adding sound, and you're building level and then graphics. So we have the boss that shoots a lot of fireballs. Yeah, I was. It's a really hard boss, by the way. You can kill it, or well, the first phase. And then you get to the second phase where it throws mines. I'm not sure they are... Yeah, they're acting kind of like they should. A bit too fast. And you have to dodge them because they deal a lot of damage. That's the two phases the bosses have right now. Also, thank you, Kev, for the follow. I forgot to say that. Too hard is this boss is hard right now. I'm going to nerf it. I'm probably going to do, well, for the vertical slice, I might add 2 modes. One is going to be a hard boss mode, and one is going to be an easy boss mode. Forson's Feet. Good name, good name. Thank you very much for the follow. Also, I forgot to say, Infcat, thank you. Welcome to the to the stream. I was not ready for the raid. Yeah, so my goal is to have a demo in like half a month. I will sit down and do graphics, fix the collision, and hopefully a couple of other people from the Discord, Caspot and Cloud Forest Studio, will be able to get some audio out. Demo in half a month, cool. Yeah, it's going to be, so when I say demo, it's going to be a vertical slice. It's going to be a possible to play through the game, or my 10 rooms, or whatever it will be, with all the functionality I've made. And it's going to be bugs in it. I can say that much. There's going to be bugs in it, but it's just to see if the game is fun. Can we make something fun with the mechanics we have? Do we need to change something, or is it good as it is? What do we need to do? Infcat, thank you very much for the follow. Greatly appreciate it. I am also trying to make... I have a Discord if you wanna follow me there, but I'm also going to make YouTube videos. So we have a YouTube videos. I'm going to make YouTube Unity tutorials on YouTube. Soon, TM. I was supposed to record a Unity tutorial today on stream, but technical issues, so I'm doing it tomorrow, maybe, probably. it will be about events in scriptable objects. I'm also thinking that my next tutorial would be how I'm using level designer toolkit and the importer to set up my levels in Unity, how you bind objects and events for it to work as seamless as it's doing for me. Yeah, that's that's it. I also have a VODs channel where I upload all my VODs. It's a few days behind my live streams, but that's where I upload my VODs. And I stream like 5 times per week, always on the weekends. Should be in my bio. And let's find someone else to raid. Because I gotta end it now. Do anyone have any suggestions for a raid target? I would prefer someone using Unity and in English. Because I have like a few people I usually raid, but I want to find more people to raid, so I don't raid the same people every time. I want to find new targets. Let's see who we can find. Post that a bit, and we have anyone. We're hoping it's streaming tomorrow during lunchtime too. I'm looking forward to it. I always like myself a lunchtime stream. Make an aim trainer, learning C# in Unity. Or should we go with like building a tower defense, a small one? Well, aim trainer is also... Let's check this one out. Is the... Yeah, let's go to this guy. It's a chill stream, so I think that's good. Let's go there. Let's copy that and raid. I think that's good. Thank you all for watching, for hanging out, and thank you very much for the raid. Again, Kev, really appreciate it. And thank you all for the new follows. I will be streaming tomorrow evening as well. And on the weekend. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Bye bye.